Welcome to the Ask an Aggie podcast, where we're exploring the ins and outs of college life here in College Station. We want you to have the best college experience you can, so listen in as we dive into relevant topics that will help you navigate this new and exciting stage of life. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ask an Aggie podcast. My name is Asher.
Jordan here, and we have a guest in the studio today, the Bridal Suite studio, that is. Cooper May.
That is Booper Bay with the B emoji. If anyone was wondering, me and Cooper are roommates. We share a room as well as a twin bed.
These are lies. These are lies.
It's not true, I promise. It's a queen bed.
They are roommates. They are roommates. They do live together. They enjoy that. But Cooper's not here for the roommate episode today. No.
No, he is here to talk about being an out-of-state student. So today, Cooper, just tell us a bit about your story of why and how you ended up here, where you're from, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Texas, in Belton, Texas by Waco. But after some various opportunities and career changes, my dad finally graduated law school, and we moved to Alexandria, Virginia, because his firm is in D.C. So he had gone to Texas A&M, so I kind of had that family connection that so many Aggies do. But it wasn't really on my radar until I started applying for colleges, senior year of high school, summer before. And I was looking around different schools, and especially the financials of it, which I know is like a big part of applying to colleges for so many people. And through the application process and the scholarship process, it turned out that not only would A&M be a place where I'd want to go, and my major was good, and biochem, and I was a good major and a good program, and the professors were solid. And also, it was going to be the cheapest option. So that kind of made it a very easy
That's a pretty
choice.
big flex right there, right? Like,
I was very,
Guys, he
very
had
blessed
so
and very
many
lucky.
scholarships.
No.
He is so smart that he could
It's
go to
not
out of
true.
state. They pay him to come here.
yeah.
Fake it till you make it, right?
So you do your research, you turn down UVA or VT, something like that, and you go, all right, I'm going to move across the country to go to school. You drove here, right? So tell us a little bit. Getting here, you needed to have your car. So what did that even look like?
So my mom had just switched jobs, so she actually couldn't get off work. My little brother Ken couldn't drive either, so he couldn't really be left at home for 4 or 5 days on his own. So it was just me and my dad in my 2006 Chevy Equinox, packed full of everything that I own. You can't see out of the rearview mirror. If you turn around, you can't see out of the windows. You adjust the side mirrors. And we drove the 3 days down from Alexandria, Virginia to College Station. And then unpacked the car, and then he gave me a hug and he left, and there I was in my dorm room with someone I've never met before.
Yeah, well, that sounds a little uncomfortable, just being able, just having your parents, peace out, we're going to go be 1,000 miles away. So what were your biggest fears with that and, just coming to A&M and leaving your family?
Yeah. I mean, I think my absolute biggest fear, like far and away, was finding friends and being a part of community, because I knew almost no one. I had one guy from my high school that I kind of knew, but we weren't close, and he was in the Corps. So he was going to be busy. I was going to be trying to be busy. So that wasn't really going to be like a friendship I could rely on. So that was my big fear, was finding friends and finding a place to get plugged in and be a part of community.
Because in a lot of ways, I mean, those are, while this is an out-of-state episode, that's the same fear for just about every student that moved into the dorm with you, right? How much of those fears turned into reality, or were mostly just in your head?
I would say almost none of them were turned out to in reality, especially as college continued to pan out. It was awkward at first. Obviously, you're in a room with someone you've never met before, texted him once or twice. You're in a dorm full of people you never met before. But it's kind of comforting because everyone else is in that same situation. Just because I was from farther away, these people still don't know each other. They've still never met before. They might have a few friends at A&M, but they're still looking to make new friends. And so it wasn't too big a deal once you start having those awkward conversations, and it's uncomfortable to have to leave behind friends you've known for most of your life and try to make friends again. But it's not that hard.
Yeah, so everyone's in the same boat as far as like I need friends, but you did have this obstacle where you were, 1,000 miles away from home. So did you get homesick?
Yes, many times. There were a few nights, especially like on weekends when I otherwise would have been not doing a lot except for being with my family, where I
Yeah.
really felt lonely because I had friends, I had been making friends, and I had met people, but we weren't nearly close enough where I was gonna open up about my deepest struggles and feeling alone
Yeah.
and feeling like I'm not at home.
Yeah, and you couldn't just, drive a couple hours, to San Antonio, Austin, or whatever. Like, it would have been a big undertaking
Yeah.
because you didn't get to go home, what, like all first semester, or what did that look like?
My family, I was really looking forward to Thanksgiving because I was gonna fly home to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But then my family decided to do Thanksgiving in Houston because we have relatives there.
Yeah.
So I did not go back to Virginia that first semester until after my last final.
And so how'd you handle that homesickness, the issue of not being with your family or with your, longtime friends?
Yeah, I think, well, one thing that helps, it's like a band-aid on a bullet wound, but FaceTime and call and just staying involved with your family. But also I just had to force myself to find friends and find good friends fast and build those relationships faster than other, like the natural.
Yeah.
Because like you can't continue to operate alone and feeling homesick, because like there are going to be times where you might have nights where you are in bed crying because you miss your home, but if you keep allowing yourself to do that, that's going to put you in a far worse boat than having some uncomfortable conversations would.
So what would you recommend to the student who's going, maybe I'm not out of state, but I'm coming from a small high school, nobody else is coming with me, or there's one or two people, but I'm not friends with them. Where did you find, you keep using the word community, friendship, where did you find that, and how did you encourage incoming students to find that?
Yeah, there are so many clubs at A&M. I mean, we joke about how there's a club for everything. There's even an underwater basket weaving club. But for me, where I found community was at a Bible study with the church that I attend now. And I walked in there nervous. I hadn't met any of the guys. I'd met the college pastor that Sunday before.
That would be
Jordan.
me,
The
by the
college
way,
pastor
just to
being-
not make
being
that awkward.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be Jordan.
yeah.
And so as we kind of talked about where we were from and what we were feeling and what we wanted out of college, I found a place where me and these guys wanted similar things out of our college experience. We wanted to grow closer to God. We wanted to do well and stay healthy throughout our 4 years here, and just to be in a tight community of guys that would build each other up. And so I was like, all right, I'm in, I'm committed, let's do this. And the rest is history.
Yeah, I, in a sense, kind of have some experiences with this. I'm not from Texas. I'm from Alabama. I've lived in Georgia. And so my wife will say all the time, she goes, it's hard when we move new places because nobody's known us longer than the time we've lived there. And so nobody at A&M knows Cooper longer than 2 years, which seems crazy because there's depth of relationship. But that first semester, they don't even know you for 3 weeks at times. And so, but really diving in and initiating those relationships is what we've seen. So when would you say you got comfortable?
I think it took a while. It took me almost the entire first semester to think of College Station as a home. Because, as friendships developed and as friendships got deeper, and it was something like I could talk about, I still was realizing how much I missed being home and being with my friends that I'd known since fourth grade. But it was a process, but there was progress constantly. So I may not have felt completely at home, but I was getting more and more comfortable as time went on. And so I think when you're in those first few weeks and it feels impossible and it feels that like you're completely alone, knowing that if you take the initiative and if you get involved with orgs or a church or with Greek life or something, that you will start to find that community and you will start to be more comfortable over time.
So what's your biggest piece of advice for an out-of-state student?
For an out-of-state student, you have to wrestle with the feelings of uncomfortability and really push yourself to go to places and do things you wouldn't normally do. So for me, I'm not the best speaker, I'm not the most eloquent, I'm kind of an awkward person until you get to know me better. So it was a big task for me to go up to someone I've never met in an event and say, "Hey, I'm Cooper. What's your name? Where are
Just
you
push
from?"
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every single conversation, I had to fight with myself in my head to do it because my natural instinct was to just go home and just to be
Mhm.
alone. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
that's
big piece of
good.
advice.
That's good. And what is your best pro tip? We like to ask this
Mm.
for every guest.
Yeah,
What is your best pro tip for any freshman coming into A&M?
yeah. I think this is one that I wish had been told to me coming in. Don't be afraid to go to outside of class resources for help with academic type things.
That's good.
Like your advisor, I didn't meet with my advisor first semester until the very end. I should have met with her earlier. It would have saved me a lot of trouble and trying to figure out how to register for classes. Whether it's an outside resource for like a tutoring service that has good reviews and is recommended to you, or if it's just the help sessions that a lot of classes will have during the week at night. I didn't go to any of those my first and second semester, and I wish I would have. And I think my grades would have been better, class would have been easier, less stress. You have to spend less time studying because you understand more, and it just makes the whole experience better now that I do go to those.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Cooper, for coming in. I think this was really helpful, and I know that for out-of-state students, this is going to be a good resource. So, guys, thank you for listening in today to the Ask an Aggie podcast. Remember, if you have a question that you want us to answer, just click the link at askanaggie.com, and we'd love to be in touch with you and maybe even film an episode about it. So we'll catch you next time on the Ask an Aggie podcast.